Deep within the world's deadliest forest, nomads faced something they were never meant to see. For generations, they had moved through the shadows of the canopy guided not by maps, but by the subtle shifts in the seasons. By an instinct passed down through blood and time and bound together by a courage as resilient as the forest itself. They are a people of the earth. Their lives a constant migration, a dance with the rhythms of the jungle. But one morning, the familiar whispers of the forest changed. A warning, stark and brutal, was carved into the very skin of the ancient trees. The trail was littered with signs of a struggle far beyond the scale of any jaguar or anaconda. Trees that had stood for centuries were snapped like twigs, deep, unsettling claw marks, longer than a man's hand, scarred the trunks of mighty hardwoods, a message of raw, untamed power. The air, usually thick with the scent of damp earth and orchids, now carried a new, primal odor. A seasoned hunter, his senses honed by a lifetime of survival, knelt to the ground. He tested the air, his eyes sharp, scanning the dense undergrowth. Something massive had passed this way, its weight pressing deep into the soft soil. Something ancient, a presence that didn't belong to their world of known predators. It moved with a terrifying heaviness that made the very ground seem to tremble. The first glimpse froze their hearts. Through a curtain of leaves and mist, a shape shifted, a colossal form moving with a slow, deliberate force, crushing branches under its immense weight. The myths whispered by their elders around flickering fires were no longer just stories. It was real. Suddenly, it emerged, a bear the size of a boulder, a creature born of the jungle's deepest fury, a beast unseen by the modern world. It rose on its hind legs, taller than any human, its fur matted with rain and soil. A deafening roar tore through the jungle, a sound that seemed to shake the heavens, and the rain began to fall in heavy, punishing sheets. Panic, swift and chaotic, rippled through the tribe like lightning through dry leaves. Shouts echoed through the downpour, the cries of frightened children swallowed by the rolling thunder as the tribe scattered in every direction, seeking refuge from the nightmare-made flesh. But one man chose to face what others feared. A young hunter, his face a mask of determined calm, stood his ground. He gripped his spear, its wooden shaft familiar and steady in his hand, as the rain plastered his hair to his skin. In that heart-stopping moment of silence between the thunderclaps, the entire forest seemed to hold its breath. The colossal bear locked its eyes on the lone figure, a low, guttural growl vibrating through the air. The hunter breathed slowly, centering himself, a single warrior against a living myth. The standoff was a silent testament to the clash between man and the untamable wild. When the beast moved, it was like thunder in flesh. It lunged, a blur of dark fur and raw power, the ground shaking with its charge. The hunter, fueled by adrenaline, dodged to the side, mud splashing as the creature thundered past. But in the chaos and the slick, treacherous mud of the Amazon, one slip can mean the end. His foot gave way, and he fell backward into the mire. In an instant the bear was upon him, its massive form towering over him, blocking out the sky, its hot breath misting in the cold rain. Death was a shadow, moments away. But in the Amazon, survival isn't a solo story. It's a chorus of courage. From the dark woods, other nomads appeared, their faces grim but resolute. They rushed forward, shouting, brandishing spears and flaming torches, a desperate attempt to distract the beast and save their brother. Fire, the one power man ever stole from the gods, the one element the jungle itself feared. They waved the burning sticks, their flames hissing in the rain, forming a defiant circle of light against the primal fury of the bear. The firelight danced across their determined faces, mixing with the rain and smoke, turning the clearing into a primal battleground. As the bear, confused and enraged by the fire, turned to charge again, the fallen hunter saw his chance. Pushing himself up, he met its lunge, not with fear, but with unerring instinct. When instinct met bravery, the beast met its end. In a flash of motion, he thrust his spear with all his might, the sharpened point finding its mark in the creature's chest. For a moment, everything was suspended in time, and then, suddenly, the jungle was silent again. The only sound, the gentle drumming of rain on leaves. The great bear, The myth of the forest had fallen. As the soft light of dawn began to break through the canopy, they didn't celebrate the kill with triumph. Instead, they knelt around the fallen beast, a circle of quiet respect. They laid flowers and sacred leaves upon its massive body. They honored the creature, not as an enemy, but as a teacher, a powerful spirit of the forest whose strength they had been tested against. The hunt, born of terror, became a source of hope. The forest, in its own violent way, had spared them once more. That night, the tribe came together. The meat was prepared and shared, a feast of survival under the stars. Laughter and stories replaced the sounds of fear. Around the warm glow of the fire, children with wide, captivated eyes listened as the hunter recounted the tale. The story of the giant bear was no longer a source of dread, but a legend of their people's resilience. From fear came legend. From hunger came strength. A new dawn broke over a calm forest, the river glowing gold under the rising sun. The balance was restored. The Amazon never forgets. It watches. It tests. And through its trials, those who respect its power survive.